What up, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless. Welcome back to another episode of our Fearless Show podcast. With me today, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Dáreece Walker. Say what up to everybody.
What's good, everybody? Artist D. Walker here. Welcome back to the Fearless Show under quarantine.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, today's date is May 19th, 2020. This is the date of our recording. And, it's been a couple weeks since we first last checked in with you guys, but we've been busy, been working on a lot of stuff, and we're going to talk about that shortly. But before we get into all that, I do want to touch on some just, recent news and stuff that has happened over, the past couple of weeks and stuff that's kind of popping up. Yeah. Before we get into that, I want to say R.I.P. to Little Richard.
Oh, yeah, big facts. The king of rock and roll.
King and queen of rock and roll.
The originator of rock and roll.
Really,
him and Chuck Berry. You could think him and Chuck Berry. There'd be no Elvis without him and Chuck Berry. There'd be no... Yeah, I said it. This is not for the fan of Elvis. That's that Kendrick line.
There would not be a lot of people without Little Richard, and he was really like the first true rock star. The way he kind of played with conceptions and broke barriers and just did his own thing. It was just so different than everything else that was out there, and so out there and flamboyant and just in your face and stuff.
Prince, there'd be no Prince without Little Richard. Think about that.
Prince is definitely the son of Little Richard.
That's crazy. And the embodiment. He did Little Richard as well as Little Richard. He just was Prince. That's amazing. But
passed away at 87 due to bone cancer, they say.
Yeah. But yeah, Little Richard, man. Woo! Oh, man. That's crazy. Him and, Ray Charles, all those guys, Stevie Wonder. He used to kick it with all of them. They used to, he used to open for Little Richard. Y'all better do your Googles if you don't know who Little Richard is, to be honest. Do your Googles and put some respect on Little Richard's name if you don't know, because he's God body. Before there was James Brown, there was a motherfucker named Little Richard, okay? and he got down.
He's definitely, he's definitely, like I said, he is the pioneer. He is the guy. He's kind of the blueprint that everybody built off of. Yeah,
it's nuts.
So R.I.P. to him.
Yeah, rest in peace, God.
There were a lot other figures and stuff that have passed away the last few weeks. Obviously, it's kind of been full of it. Also, due to coronavirus and kind of things get kind of lost in the shuffle. But I definitely wanted to single him out specifically because he was so big and so influential, even if people didn't know it.
Yeah, definitely. Were you mentioning any other people?
No, off the top of my head, I don't want to leave anybody out or miss.
One leader I do want to mention, Andre Harrell.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, he did. Big
mogul. Rest in peace to Andre Harrell.
Yep.
For people who don't know who Andre Harrell is, extremely influential figure in the music business. Probably behind a lot of your favorite music since the early 90s. He got in the game in the 80s. So he's P. Diddy, Puffy is his protege. All of these people are look up to Andre Harrell because of just so much Babyface. If it goes back to Babyface and then I say Puffy, then you should just know the weight of who this person is. And I just want to say rest in peace to him, and condolences to Little Richard's family and friends, and condolences to Andre Harrell's family and friends, and to everyone else who's passed and those family and everyone else who's grieving. I just want to send out our thoughts and positive energy.
Yep, R.I.P to him and R.I.P to everybody else. Like I said, I just don't want to misspeak and miss out on anybody or, just talk about something I'm not fully, researched on. But there are a lot of others, so you can look into that, I'm sure, in the headlines and everything. So, Joe Rogan, extremely popular podcaster, basically took podcasting to a whole new level. I watched a good portion of his shows. There's certain ones I just skip over completely, but I watch him. Yeah. He does have a very interesting...
Talk about a rebrand.
Yeah, huge rebrand.
He used to be known as the Fear Factor guy.
Yeah.
But now he's a extremely reputable, respectable...
and they almost look at him as
mixed martial arts announcer.
He's
and podcaster.
One of the most influential voices in America, weirdly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very weird.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think he has, like, him and Howard Stern have, like, the biggest podcasts in the nation.
I believe it. And he talks about all types of things, all types of topics. I don't like everything he talks about or the way they talk about certain stuff, but there are a lot of interesting guests he has on there and everything.
Yeah. Crazy selection. He's eclectic as fuck. I love it.
So you can really like pick and choose, kind of like, if you don't like this, just go watch another one and go watch something else.
Like,
So
that's not for me. But you're like, oh, this one's interesting.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's basically taking podcasting to a whole new level, and he just announced that he just signed an exclusivity deal with Spotify.
Oh.
So Spotify has definitely been trying to increase their podcasting reach and, groundwork. And they've been paying a lot for like a lot of these networks that have these podcast networks, but Joe Rogan's independent and they haven't like disclosed how much he's getting paid. But
my jaw's dropping.
And I'm sure it is quite a lot because he's kind of been adverse to having any sort of deal or major sponsor controlling anything, about his show. So they had to pay him a lot of money.
Fam, they had to pay him so much money. So much money.
I would say around $100 million.
Yeah,
I would say that.
I would say they probably started at like a good 60 and he probably said 100. So I bet he's running. I bet the deal is probably around 90, 85.
Well, I think it's 100. They paid 200 for the Ringer, and I'm pretty sure his numbers are bigger than the Ringer's. Oh, they
paid 200? They did pay 200 for the Ringer?
For the Ringer.
I mean, Joe might get more than 200. I mean, Joe. It's possible. Not 200. I mean, it depends on if it's a short-term contract. Do you know how long the contract was?
I haven't divulged all the info. They just said that they will start at the end of this year. It will no longer, only full episodes will no longer even be on YouTube, which has been his main source for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So wow, 100 million.
Maybe even more.
That sounds like
he might even be more. Quite honestly. Might be around 200, but it could be around 200.
It really depends, but that's nuts. You know what that says to me? Spotify is really, really getting into the content game. Like, that's nuts.
They're trying to become the podcast central place hub,
Yeah, because they have the Joe Budden podcast, and
they have the Joes.
Their flagship.
They have the Joes.
Right. They have the Joes. Fam, you know how nuts that is? That's a wow.
I mean, and
Joe Budden platform to control both of those.
And Joe Budden's podcast is popular, but nowhere near the level of Joe Rogan's podcast.
Joe Rogan has an audience that expands like 5 times beyond Joe Budden's, just because of just sheer notoriety. Like, Joe Rogan was on TV every day for like 10 years and then started doing this thing that he's doing now.
It's going to be very interesting to see, like, if anything changes. He says nothing's going to change, but it's like, now somebody's paying you and there's a lot more pressure on you. I think than to like, you know.
Yeah, well, so there's a lot changed with the Joe Budden podcast.
And things have been changing already with Joe Rogan stuff because he hasn't experienced as much like backlash and outcry as he's been getting recently, just because he's become such a central voice for a lot of people, and like people are looking at him as like this, you know, super knowledgeable guy that you can take his rants as like fact. A lot of people are doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
for sure.
So now he has all this power and influence, which I'm sure he never really expected to even or even wanted to have. So it's like now you have a corporate entity behind you. I think that pressure is gonna be even crazier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's kind of used to it. I think I don't know. It depends. Spotify's,
but he never had any deals in place before.
I mean, he's got a UFC deal as an announcer.
That's different, and it's Dana White. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. But it's a deal. He's got deals.
Yeah, all right.
Joe Rogan fixed podcasting because that's the job that he wants to retire on. So I think what he decided to do was just make it a regular job.
It is basically. This is his job now. Like,
yeah.
Let's be honest.
I think he just wanted to make it official instead of just being solo.
He's never been a great comedian. Like, let's be honest. He's a comedian, and let's be honest. I can't remember one Joe Rogan joke I've been like, oh my god, this dude is hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think that's his thing. He's really good at commentating MMA, honestly.
He's a great commentator. He's a great commentator on just things in general. Yeah, you know,
him having conversation with people that with stuff he's interested in is amazing. But like other stuff, not so much.
But if you listen to him, I'm sure he'll say comedian first, then commentator, then, you know, podcaster.
And that's what's weird. That's what's weird about it. It's like,
because he's been doing comedy for decades, and it's not even come close to the level this podcast is taking.
Not even come close, and that's why none of the great comedians. That's one knock on Joe Rogan's show is he's had everyone except great comedians. He's had decent ones, but none of the like top 10 that are alive have ever been there.
Kevin Hart.
Oh, Kevin Hart's been there?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. But even that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I can basically say, yeah, it's K Hart, and that would just answer that. Like
corporate Kev was definitely on there. Come on now.
Yeah.
He's got to boost the brand, and this was after the whole cheating thing and all that stuff. So
he was being a Mitch. His own words, not mine. He was a Mitch.
He was definitely doing doing this whole promo redemption tour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he hit the Joe Rogan podcast.
Facts. So,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Like Chappelle, no. First of all, Chappelle's bigger than any fucking podcast. He doesn't need to do anything.
Like Joe Rogan hasn't even partied with Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle will.
No, he says he has.
Yeah, but like going to where Dave Chappelle's at and like his party and like actually like being on his Learjet is a different type of like let's hang out.
Oh, well, I can't speak to that. I can't say if he has or hasn't. The way he talks, he says he knows him pretty
maybe.
well.
All right, maybe. Actually, no. You know what? I have to take that back.
They do come up through the same comedy circuits.
I have to take that back. Joe Rogan might have, but that's weird that Dave ain't ever did his show.
Dave doesn't do anything though. It's different.
Yeah. Dave doesn't do shit.
I don't know. As a comedian, I also don't really want to hear you on a talk show or anything like that because it kind of takes away from.
They all do DJ Vlad.
Who?
Not
that's relevant. That's relevant.
Ish. Some of them are more relevant than some of the ones on his pod, but
they're about the same level.
Yeah, Aries Spears is up there. But people call him washed.
Look, I used to love Aries, but he's washed now.
That's tough.
He hasn't had a special and nothing in anything for how long. So I mean, come on.
What about
of course you're gonna go on Vlad.
Russell Peters?
I mean, I guess if that's your big name, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess
that's not a big name.
The big ones don't get on Vlad for a reason.
Shit. Yeah, you can say
and they
that
don't
about anybody.
definitely don't go on Vlad shit for a reason.
That's true. Facts. I'm just hating on Joe, but on Joe Rogan, just to be funny. But honestly, congrats to Joe Rogan. That's a major, epic, huge deal. That's crazy.
Yes,
I'm just interested to see how the show.
Like I said, yeah, that's all I want to know. I want to see if things change or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He says nothing's going to change, but I'm sorry. Somebody's throwing that much money on you. Yeah. They're going to want some input at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they're definitely going to feed him interviewees. I think he's going to have to talk to some people originally he would never talk to or like wouldn't reach out to necessarily. But
nah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find out soon. Shout out to him though.
For sure.
Come up was crazy.
Get in the bag.
So I don't know if you saw this news item we had on LLF, our official website, maybe a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Nicolas Cage is set to play Joe Exotic, the Tiger King.
Definitely saw that. Whoa. That was my reaction, like, huh. Like, it was like confusion, a little bit of loss, like not, okay, so let me rewind. Nicolas Cage is crazy. He could definitely play that role. But like somebody playing that role was the ridiculous part. Like there's a movie about it that they're making, and that Nicolas Cage probably had seen the documentary and was like, "Yeah, bet I'm gonna be that dude."
Well, this isn't a movie. This is an 8-part miniseries, so this will make his TV debut technically.
Oh, swag! What network is it? Is it Netflix?
I don't think they've announced it yet, but still in development. But he said he's signed on. He said he wants to do it. So
that's hilarious.
And Nick Cage is, I don't know if people have seen any of the recent shit he's done over the years. Basically doing anything and everything that gets thrown at him. This is like right up his alley. You know, just watch like Mandy and some shit like that. Like this is definitely right up his alley.
I mean, that's so weird. Like, I don't know. The documentary was weird, but cool. I hated that I had to watch it only because everybody was talking about it. But then,
I mean, you had to.
It was cool to watch. I was like, all right.
It was interesting. It was definitely interesting.
It wasn't bad. If it was like trash, I would have been more mad. But like, it wasn't like bad. It was like cool. Obviously, there was like some strange bias, you know, and I don't know. They kind of wanted us to like think Carol Baskins killed them, but they didn't really like.
What do you mean, kind of? They fully want you to, think Carol Baskins. They damn near promoted it themselves. And they're like, hey, best believe they're about to
Those
do.
Those are my favorite memes too. Of like, it's like you know who? Yeah, what is it? What did they say? Like, you know who started coronavirus? Carol Baskins. Like, and it was like the Tiger King. Like,
best believe
Carol fucking Baskins.
She will get her own little series from Netflix too. Like, stop it, bro. Like, they fully promoted that.
Oh yeah. Anytime there's like a hot like type of murder scene, there's gonna be a Law and Order with like some type of exotic animal. You know, farm. Like they're gonna put these stories into like all kinds of shit. Like just oh shit, like you know, that's just how it works.
So yeah, Nick Cage, Joe Exotic. It makes sense, but it's gonna be fucking weird.
Well, because he's a straight man playing a gay lion owner.
But is this that much of a stretch considering how weird the people he plays is already?
I mean, it's an 8-part series, and because it's a show, it just really depends on what they do with it. Because Joe Exotic had, like, in the docuseries, he had husbands, so like, I've never seen Nicolas Cage kiss a man, but like he's probably gonna have to do that. And
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't really know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna redo it, because you basically was already a show movie. You know what I'm saying? It was already super dramatized, so I'm not really sure how they're gonna do it with actors.
I mean, they might just like. I mean, they could really romanticize it and just like focus on the love story of like his first love or something before.
It'll probably be focused specifically on Joe Exotic, because this one focused on a few different people. I think this is gonna be specifically on him.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in the documentary will not be in there. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I wonder if they're gonna talk to him. It'll be so weird. I don't know. I have no idea.
Look, people are gonna watch it. I know I probably will. Just because it's Nick Cage.
You have to. I mean, but the thing is, because it's a series, episode 1 will let us know if we need to keep watching. So,
yeah, we'll find out.
If it's like unbearable, sorry.
We'll find out. Spike Lee revealed that he is working on He Got Game 2, and they plan to meet with Zion Williams about starring in it.
Oh, that's hard. That's nuts. I'm trying to think about that. I'm just like, Jesus Shuttlesworth? Denzel? Oh, what if they brought Denzel back? And Ray Allen. What if Zion's Ray Allen's son? What if Zion's Jesus' son?
It could be that, because it says Ray Allen is involved in it too.
Oh, that's nuts. They could all be in it. Nah, they can't afford Denzel and all of that. That'd be crazy. Oh, that'd be so sick. If they got Denzel, that shit could win an Oscar. But if they don't, then it's probably just going to be a really dope movie.
He said, unfortunately, Spike also said that Denzel Washington wouldn't be coming back if a sequel did eventually get made.
Looks like it's just going to be a dope movie. Well,
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to imagine Zion being a good actor.
Yeah, he's not very
interesting outside of
he's very basketball. Introverted. Let's just say that. He's an introvert.
He's a different guy. Not super charismatic.
Yeah. Yeah. Same things, different words, For sure. So I don't know how it would be on the silver screen, but I mean that's what he's talking about. He said that's what their plan is. They haven't announced that he's for sure going to be in it, but He Got Game 2 and what that would be like.
I think Ja Morant would probably be dope as fuck in there.
Oh yeah. Wow. That's like a perfect spot on.
I feel like he got enough swag. And
Ja Morant has a lot of swag, and like he's pretty charismatic. Like everything he does is really energetic, and he's
obviously depends on the story and whatever they're going for. But
interesting,
Yeah, we'll see.
That'd be great.
So keep an eye out for that. Other news, I don't know if you saw, but the Library of Congress they released an open source hip hop sampling tool. This was also a news piece from a couple weeks ago on our site.
I saw a little bit about that.
It's called Citizen DJ.
Citizen DJ.
It's the full service is set to launch in the summer of 2020.
Huh.
So, basically, potential users will have access to the massive audio collection that dates back over 100 years, almost to the invention of the phonograph. And it's basically for samplers, like people to come and sample it, like to make beats and stuff, and it's all free.
That's nuts. I guess I'm gonna have to drop my mixtape. I'm gonna have to start sampling, cut some beats up, yo. I'm gonna get my MPC going. I'm gonna be Boy Wonder in here.
So yeah, the program is curated by Brian Fu, and he said, today, collage-based hip-hop as existed in the golden age is largely a lost or at best prohibitively expensive art form. I believe if there was a simple way to discover, access, and use public domain audio and video material for music making, a new generation of hip-hop artists and producers can maximize their creativity, invent new sounds, and connect listeners to materials, cultures, and sonic history that might otherwise be hidden from public ears.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
True.
They are the Library of Congress. If people don't know, he has a massive collection of just history of different things, of different art forms, different media forms, and basically they're taking that collection and they curated it, and that's and this all this stuff is all in the public domain, and they're giving it to people to use freely as they want. Because if you don't know, hip hop grew based on sampling, but as hip hop got bigger. Mm-hmm. All these artists realized how big it was getting and how much money could be made from it, that sampling became too expensive. So it kind of went by the wayside these days.
Yeah.
It's very rare to get a big sample of something older because of the amount of money, especially from like up and coming artists, from the amount of money that it costs to actually do that. But to have this huge collection of stuff just free could be fucking game changing, if anything.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's not just like the amount, it's like the percentage. It's like, even if I create something with some of these samples, it's like sometimes they want 100% they want to own the thing you made with their thing. like, which is nuts. Like, you know, like, God rest the dead, you know, Juice WRLD was here, he got, you know, sued, you know, for the Sting sample.
I mean, rightfully so. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's what happens. But like, that's what I mean about.
That was less of a sample than a flip.
Yeah, exactly. But like at the same time, that type of percentage is energy. Industry standard. Like I think it was an 80 or 90% cut.
It was like 90 or something like
that. Yeah, 90 for that. You know, like honestly, industry, they typically take 60 to 80. If it's a big flip, if it's obvious, they like, yeah, I want more than half because my song is what they're reminiscing about that's making the song go. Because it's already a hit. You're just using the hit factor to make a new hit. So give me my money. That's what they think. That's their argument.
I mean, if anything, this might bring back sampling in a big way.
I'm excited for it. This might be dope. I think, honestly, it'll aid in the new artist like creation. Like I think there's a new wave of digital style coming, and just an integration of things of just old styles that haven't necessarily clashed together quite like that, you know, kind of like how, you know, X and like Denzel Curry do their like metal rap and stuff. I think more genres will start to bend and twist together.
Well, I don't know exactly what kind of samples they have, but I'm sure it's some real eclectic shit, and I'm sure there's some the more creative people out there will find some crazy stuff to create with. And it's not just for hip hop artists, but obviously it is kind of, we are the culture that started the whole sampling, like massive at the degree it is right now. And
for real, a unique noise can make a hit.
And if anything, it's just dope that it's not like it needed any more validation, but hip hop is such a big part of American history now that it's become like it's literally being recognized by like Library of Congress and all this shit, and the same levels as all these other art forms. You know, it's crazy. Yeah,
I mean that's even broader than that because like with all that sampling, you know, like movie soundtracking, you know, like just like videos soundtracking and stuff, it like sort of opens it up for you to use that for like all types of creative media. Artists can do it for animations, you know, it's kind of cool.
If I was a video person, you know, if I was a director coming up, I'll definitely be looking and sampling some shit from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the program is live now, but it's in beta, and I think I don't know if it's, you know, for selected people or what, but I know it fully opens in summer. You can find out more about it on the website. Just search up Library of Congress and sampling, and the article will pop up for you. So, okay. You know, we got to talk about it.
Oh, do we? Do we have to talk about it?
We do.
I hope you're not. Well, you probably are. Go ahead.
A certain someone came on recently.
He's not home. We don't know where he is.
People know where he is. That's why I keep getting moved.
Shit.
Tekashi 6IX9INE is back.
Gross. Skull gang. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. The rainbow-headed clown. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, first, did you watch his live? Did you watch?
I didn't watch the whole
video?
live. I think I caught a snippet of it.
Oh, you popped in there? You were one of them? Okay.
I'm not in the live. I didn't catch the live. I caught the YouTube of the live. I caught the aftermath. Like, oh, he broke records? I was like, I would never. I'm not following him to be able to know if he's on live.
like 2 million people on live or something like that?
That's what I was trying to figure out was like, first of all, why did all the industry know about it enough to be in there in the first place? Like,
because he announced it.
Yeah, but why did they have to be in there? They didn't have to.
Because they're watching. You know they're watching.
They didn't have to be in there.
There's a lot of jealous dudes right now. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there was
because he just did 2 million live on Instagram first day out.
2 million, and
I'm pretty sure his video has like 30. Let me look at his video, but I'm pretty sure it's got like 30-something million.
Yeah, no, it has. Are you talking about that video?
The music video.
Oh no, it has more than that. We had like 38 like the first like 3 days. It's probably around 60.
Jesus Christ. Would you say
I thought it would be at least 60 right now.
It's 191 million.
Oh! Sorry for clipping. I didn't mean to yell in the microphone, but holy shit. Yo. You know how much? Okay, 191 million.
In a week.
That's nuts. YouTube has to pay him like $1 million. Like, that's... like, what is happening? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That many views?
Well, correction. 197 million. As of right now.
Yeah. Okay, well, but you know what's crazy? He said so much flagrant shit in it that it's like people just had to look at it. Like, he said flagrant shit in that video. Like,
well, he said flagrant shit before going in, so I get it. It's not like, look, he's getting all his views and it literally has nothing to do with the music.
Facts.
It's literally all because they want to see what the fuck is going to happen. It's like watching a car crash or a train wreck.
Yeah.
You can't help but watch. And
it's weird because it's all...
He's cashing in on it. And for those people who thought he was going to be a changed person and come out differently, I was like, you guys are fucking joking, right? Like, he's going to come out and do the exact same shit, if not more, because he knows that's the only way he's going to be even make money or be relevant in the scene. Like, and he did it, and it happened pretty much exactly what I figured was going to happen. That he was going to do crazy ass numbers, and people are going to get really angry, and it's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do about it.
What's awesome, though, what's crazy is he came out at the perfect time. He came out when everyone's supposed.
I caught that.
I did. I said awesome. Well, because look.
You are
he's a snitch
supporter.
Look, a snitch of the highest degree comes outside when everyone's supposed to be inside in the entire world. You know how crazy that is? That's like the most luckiest snitch game of all time. Like you get out when everyone's supposed to be inside. Like, everything looks suspicious. Like, you know, so like it's easy to be safe now. Like, this nigga don't have to be worried about getting touched for another year and a half. He's going to be trolling us for a minute. Like, he can't get touched for a minute because of this corona.
He's going at everybody, too. He's going at Meek. He's going at Snoop. He's going at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what's funny, he's going at people, but he's like, I guarantee you he's not going to touch certain stuff. Because, like, it's just really easy. Like, he's talking about people that, like, yeah, like, But the funny thing is, for somebody like that, if he keeps saying enough people's names, then if something happens, nobody is going to be a suspect because he said too many things. He's like, this is how many enemies you got. Nobody's going to care. Like,
I mean, he's playing a real dangerous fucking game. I'm just like...
The most dangerous game. But that's all he has if he wants to be this.
It's his only option. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like...
Honestly, the Snoop Dogg, like... That's when I was like, ugh, okay. All right. 6ix9ine's trying
Snoop, I hope Snoop don't even get involved.
Nah, he didn't. He just said, don't play with me.
I'm not talking about publicly.
Oh, yeah, nah. Snoop's an OG. There's no way he could get involved. Snoop's way too... Snoop was there when... Come on. Snoop beat a murder charge. Snoop was there when Tupac died.
Like I said, I just hope he doesn't get involved at all behind the scenes.
Nah.
All I'm saying is, like, dude, like, I don't know how long Secret Service is, or not Secret Service, I don't know how long witness protection is going to be with you or how long they're going to keep moving you, but I'm sure you're violating a lot of shit because I'm pretty sure you weren't supposed to come out and keep doing the shit that you're doing right now.
I think what's
and
happening
I'm also pretty sure they're going to get tired of moving you around.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think what's happening is I think 6ix9ine has just been put back into hip hop to get a couple more rappers out of the game. I think he's doing the big artist thing, and then he's going to go back to the artists that he used to talk about, like Chief Keef, and just like lower level. He's going to be like, he's just going to bring up some shit, and just by them responding is going to get them caught up in some shit.
I don't think so. I think he's just riling up as much shit as possible so he can get as many views, as much people talking about him, as much possible so he can cash in.
He's the most public undercover agent of all time.
All I'm saying is,
the most public undercover agent.
I don't know how long they're gonna keep moving
6ix9ine is
I
the
don't know
hip-hop police.
how long witness protection is gonna be with you.
As long as it needs
cannot be outside alone.
He'll never be outside alone. He wasn't outside alone before this. You think he'll be outside alone now?
He cannot.
You know how protected he was? You know what the game was saying about him before he went inside? When he used to roll around, they were saying he wouldn't be nowhere. When he used to go to Chicago and be like, I'm outside, I'm here, blah, 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 he would have 20 people, and it would be like a cop barricade where the people were, and he would just get out where his car was at and shoot that video and then get back in the car.
I mean, I believe it. This was all a fucking charade. Like, we knew this before.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, it's on a different level now, and he's playing a real fucking dangerous game.
Facts.
I don't wish any harm on him. I don't wish that he gets, dealt with. But I won't be surprised.
I don't know if he can do any live concerts.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I already said this. I've been said.
That's all I don't know. Say. I just don't know if he can.
I've been said this. He can't tour. Like, he cannot do a concert. No city is going to let him come there and do a show.
Yeah. He can't be announced.
They shut down shows for less.
Facts. Yeah, I don't even think he could be a surprise guest. Like, I still don't think he could just like
Chief Keef can't even perform in Chicago.
Facts.
Because of his allegations and whatever and affiliations. This dude cannot show up to somewhere because they can't guarantee safety.
Facts.
If he shows up somewhere. So it's like, he cannot do it live. Like, he has to do all this behind the scenes and stay behind the screen and I think at some point people are going to get tired of it for sure. Because the music is not like, it's like,
I mean, especially with people
crazy.
Getting like hungry right now, honestly. Like, imagine if somebody puts a lick out on this, you don't think somebody would just sit outside for a week? Like,
all I'm saying, he can't leave the house alone, bro. He can't step outside. Like, his family, he's putting his family in putting his family in a line of danger. Like, bro, like, what is you doing, bro? Like,
I've never seen anything grosser. Like the way he's defending himself is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
This is so disgusting.
I've never seen anything more gross than that. It's like ew. It's nasty. It's nasty.
It's fucking nasty. That's the word for it. Like, it's fucking nasty. And
I don't know how it's legal, honestly. Like, I thought part of the stipulations for him getting out was not trolling.
That he wouldn't come back trolling. Yes,
that was like rule number 1. So,
I don't know, bro.
Maybe there's not a legal definition of trolling. I think that's what happened.
He's playing by different rules, and he's been playing by different rules. But
this nigga got the loopholes. Is all I'm saying. He got the loopholes, and wow.
All I'm saying is they can't be riding forever, and when they start moving away from him, when the system starts moving away from him, he's gonna be. I feel sorry for dude because
Daniel need to close his mouth, stop dyeing his hair, and never make music again.
He don't know.
That's what Daniel Hernandez needs to do.
I don't think he knows how lucky he was to get out of the situation he was in to begin with.
He doesn't know how lucky he is. Like, what?
And he's jumping back in like feet first.
Yeah.
With enemies on both sides now. Like, he have no friends.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Like, you have no support. Like, you have no people looking out for you now. Like, dude, like I said, you better hope with his protection is willing to move you around and be with you for the rest of your life, because it's shit about to be real ugly if they fucking leave. Like, and they put you out there. Like,
he's just bait. He's hip hop police bait. And they're just gonna drop him off somewhere to see who does what. They're just gonna use him as bait, plop him. Hey, 6ix9ine, and then stand in the bushes and wait. Oh, 6ix9ine dead. Yeah, but we got these motherfuckers. Like,
they gonna we gonna take you home. Hold on, we gonna like one stop. Just go outside real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, is that 6ix9ine?
Oh shit.
Dude, I don't know, bro. I literally can't even like imagine how this whole story is going to end for him.
With the death.
Like, I can't picture how it's going to end, but I just know it's not going to end well.
It doesn't end with him. It doesn't end with us talking about him in a positive way.
I've never talked about him in a positive way. That's the thing, though. Like, I just literally do not know how it's going to end, but I just know it's going to end in a bad way.
I'm just confused.
In a bad way.
The industry is weird. Everyone hates him, but then everybody, I don't know. It's strange. Whatever.
Good luck, man. Hey, that's all I gotta say. Yo, good luck.
Let's wrap on that topic.
Good luck.
Stay inside, buddy.
All right, the other thing everybody's been talking about is The Last Dance. I don't know if you've
Jordan
watched.
Definitely, yeah.
I'll be the first to say I've not watched a single one yet. I've kind of been waiting.
Oh, you've been waiting? It's done now. The last chapter is out.
I'll get around to binging it. I mean, I also knew most of the story before. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I feel you. But I did as well. But there were some parts. I don't know if you want me to give you my like whole thing on it, but
you can give me your opinion on it. I mean, everybody's talking about it for the last 5 weeks, anyways.
I mean, I gotta agree with some of the, I guess, common criticism about it, which is that it's a Jordan vanity piece.
Well, it wouldn't have come out if Jordan didn't approve, and Jordan is also, and his company, whatever, is executive producing the whole series.
Yeah. So, I mean, that part, they, as much as they tried not to make it overwhelming, it's overwhelming. Like, so, as much as they, but then it makes it awkward. So, for me, the only part was that because it was so overwhelmingly Jordan bias, it was awkward that sometimes the episodes were about other players and just like team, you know, Bulls and the Six Rings. And like, it would be all about, it would almost be like a way to like get them to talk about Jordan in a positive way. Or like, and they obviously cut out a bunch of stuff because I heard some stuff where like, some of the direct like talk about Jordan was cut out. They're like, oh yeah, it said something and that didn't make it, so like they definitely dressed it up. But to get away from that, the good parts, I think it was, I don't know, I think it was dope just to see the dynamic between, I guess, Scottie Pippen a little bit more. I guess I didn't know enough about Scottie during that time, aside from him being just like, it kind of just seemed like, oh, he's a wingman, and he's really good, but it kind of, gave me a little bit more insight as to like, oh, nah, Scottie was nice. Scottie was nice.
Even though Scottie's not happy with the documentary.
He shouldn't be. Scottie looks like they made him
soft.
look weak. Yeah. It made Scottie look weak. It made Dennis look like Dennis. Honestly, Dennis is the most regular character. I think they did him the most justice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, I was like, damn.
Not really, because Dennis has always been fully like out with himself. Like, it's just been like, this is who I am. Like, this is what I'm about.
Yeah,
like, it hasn't
but
been,
I mean, like
no surprises left. Like,
yeah, but they put extra sauce on Scottie and it lingered, whereas Dennis kind of felt like a quick chat in terms of like, obviously he came in a little bit late or whatever,
and
from
he's not
Detroit,
the second guy.
Yeah, but like, it was weird.
No.
And
I don't think I'm gonna be that surprised by anything in the documentary.
No. I wasn't surprised by, actually the one thing I was surprised by, I guess that everybody's talking about, is just the end. But it's not a surprise. It's just like, oh, I didn't think Jordan felt that way. It was just the way Jordan felt at the end. was slightly surprising. About being unsatisfied with 6 and actually wanted to play one more year after that. But the team dismantling and him never being satisfied with that and always looking back at that.
Was
even though they never talk about like the Wizard bullshit later, and but
I'm sure they
pretend like Jordan never played after the Bulls. Like
I mean, I get it. It's also about their run, the Chicago Bulls.
But that's why it's a vanity piece. It's because it's not about it's not really about the run. It's not. It's because if it was about the run, it would be more about the run. It was.
Did he seem genuine, and sincere about things he was saying?
Well, honestly, you never heard Jordan talk this much. So, like,
no,
there were parts. Honestly, the most genuine parts were, and the most insightful parts were his family parts, because we never really got to see his mom and his dad as much as now. So that was like, he would get. In those references, I guess when the director would ask him about like maybe that or like maybe some aspect of that, he would be, Michael was more introspective than just like bravado, like usual, like confident Mike. He kind of stripped back a little bit and you could see like a real person. Kind of, yeah,
I mean, he did say before he was worried that this will make him seem like a bad person. Did it do that?
It didn't change what I thought about Michael. I knew, like, all the stories, all the other people that are athletes that have heard the
like
athletic
people who
stories
know,
yeah.
I already knew he was already kind of a dickhead, you know what I'm saying? So it was like,
yeah, like,
it's nothing new.
Like, for people who don't know, like, way before this documentary came out, like, there's so much shit in there that, like, they didn't talk about. Like, there's weird stories I know about, like, Jordan's ping pong story, where, like, somebody asked him to play ping pong.
$5 and shit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Horace Grant.
Yeah. And Jordan lost, and he got pissed. And he bought a whole ping pong table and practiced for a month straight, and then challenged him to a game just so he could demolish him in ping pong. And made sure it was an audience there. Like that's like that's the type of man. Like, oh, you beat me, and you feel good, huh? Okay, like, so yeah, nah.
I mean, I just don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to change my opinion about him. I've always loved him as a basketball player. I've never loved him as a person, like outside of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't think it's going to change anything for me.
Honestly, it just helped. It just, as a LeBron fan, it helped me understand some of the loopholes. If ever LeBron gets the chip requirement to become the 1A instead of 1B of greatest of all time. Because if he gets another ring, he might be the greatest of all time.
He's my favorite player of all time for sure.
He's my favorite player of all time.
I think Jordan still, I would still consider Jordan the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, but
just for when you take into account everything he's done and his impact.
Yeah. But then I got to take into account again, three different teams, a championship. You take
I mean, it's definitely different.
That's crazy.
At the same time, like I said, I don't think, like I said, I'll watch the documentary eventually. I don't think it's going to change my opinion. I've knew a lot about a lot of these stories already. And
I mean,
kind of
honestly,
knew the whole run.
In terms of that LeBron talk, what I meant as well was that although the league was more physical, I'm not as impressed with the teams that he beat to get the championships in a couple of those years. I
mean, basketball's like anything else in history. Shit gets better. Like, shit just gets better.
Those niggas were trash. Like, so I was just a little bit mad at that, like, talk. So I was like, we can't compare eras. There's just the greatest.
No, I don't even want to get into that because I hate comparing eras because it's the dumbest talk in the world because you can't.
The rules are different.
The fact that the players are different. Like, players get better as generations go by. Like, what do you think happens?
Nobody
think they just stay
nobody
the same
in the
level?
NBA during the Jordan years played AAU basketball. Like, niggas was not playing basketball since they were.
It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, the training's different. Like, it's just different, bro. Like, talent wise, motherfuckers is OD talented right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the rules are just different. But talent wise, get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to hear that. I don't want to hear that argument.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll watch the documentary. Like I said, I don't think it's going to change too much, my opinion, about things and what I knew before. But it will be nice to, like, see it more from behind the scenes and from him specifically. Because, like you said, he doesn't talk very much about anything. I hear he even talked about his Republicans buy sneakers too a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to check that part out.
Oh yeah, they skirted by that. I like how they.
I'm sure they touched on it just a little bit.
When I talk about vanity piece, the way they handled Jordan's finesse of politics was sheer PR. Like,
I'm just a basketball player. Is that what you did?
Yeah, man. Like
same tired ass line.
They put all the, like, stuff that was happening on a local election, and, like, the fact that he wasn't speaking on politics. So, like, they ignored they just ignored certain things that were happening at the time, like the Rodney King shit, and stuff, you know, like and other things that were related to racism. And
like I said,
they glossed it over like, I didn't want to announce my support for a specific politician and influence the votes. And
like I said. Love him as a basketball player, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. No, that was genius PR. But
I mean, I figured. Not surprised.
Yeah, for the ones who know,
you wouldn't have gotten this otherwise.
Know. But you know, there is some good stuff that I didn't know in there. Just some little, like, cool pieces as a fan.
I'll check it out eventually. But the best sports documentary really out that's been coming out is The Dark Side of the Ring. By Vice.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yes, you did.
Wait,
you watched
The Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes.
Wait.
Season 2.
Oh, That's right. Season 2.
This is season 2. They have been putting out some absolute heat.
I didn't even know about season 2.
They just did the Owen Hart episode and talk about that and shit. And like they talk about some shit on there.
Owen Hart was like legendary. That's crazy.
Like if you guys need another sports documentary, this is a series, not just a 10-part, but like to dive into.
Yeah.
And you guys were wrestling fans growing up, like a lot of you guys were. Dark Side of the Ring by Vice. I recommend it 1000%. It is fucking good.
Really good.
And they don't hold back. And you know why they don't hold back? Because WWE is not involved.
Yep.
So it's not a PR piece. They just put it all out there.
I like that. Yeah.
So
I remember
definitely check that one out.
That first one.
Yeah, Chris Benoit he was a 2-parter, and that was
nuts.
Fucking crazy to watch, man.
Well done. Honestly, they went really in depth on that.
And every episode has been like that.
Yeah.
So definitely do that one. Check that out. So let's get into some art news before we wrap these things up. So Italy is, they're starting to reopen a bit, and they have recently announced that their museums are opening back up.
Interesting.
Because they had like a big Raphael exhibition supposed to be going on.
Dope.
Celebrate like the 500th anniversary of the Renaissance great's death.
Mm-hmm.
So they're opening that back up. Included like over 120 works by him.
That's lit. I mean, that's kind of one of a kind, legendary, once in a lifetime shit. So anybody in the region that can go, you should
basically only people in the region can go.
Yeah, because you can't find it. So,
but they did like pre-sale like I think like 80,000 tickets before it was supposed to open. So
that would have been so sick to see that though. That's amazing.
This is running now, I think June to September.
Well, those locals better fucking take advantage of that shit.
Definitely, people are. So I mean, they're opening back up.
Yeah, talking about one of the greatest of all time.
So a recent survey conducted by the Art Dealers Association America revealed there's a 74% reduction in employment for art dealers across the U.S.
That's a large reduction.
Yeah. The art galleries across the U.S. projected 73% loss in revenue.
Yeah.
And there probably very little recourse to recovery.
Yeah, I think I looked at a little bit of stats from Freeze, New York, because it got canceled, obviously, and they had to do an online exhibition, and they offered...
Met Gala got canceled, too.
Yeah, and they basically... they offered all the galleries, free space on the website for this online gallery, and, essentially like the sales were like barely trickled in from the website, and it seemed like about 75% of their sales came from just direct reaching out and from their own regular shit.
Which makes sense. You kind of need an event to kind of hype people up to get into that mode of buying some expensive ass shit,
Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean,
the art world is definitely got rocked by this, for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of galleries closed in New York. I think indefinitely. Ironically, it's weird. There's some galleries that can never close. But then there's just some that are just kind of...
Smaller ones for sure are going to have a hard time.
Yeah, especially commercial galleries. Because they operate different. They're like a regular kind of storefront type of property, whereas like the not-for-profit gallery spaces operate in a different system of donation and grant-based funding. So they have like a little bit more cachet in terms of cash flow, but
stuff.
Yeah, they don't want to. What's the point of paying for real estate if nobody can come inside? As an art gallery owner, especially when it costs, anywhere from $10,000 to $60,000 a month, because you're in New York.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I made a more kind of art-related coronavirus news. Banksy, I don't know if you saw, he produced a new piece, and he placed it in the University Hospital in Southampton in England.
I think I saw the headline. I don't think I saw the piece.
Yeah. Basically, it was a piece dedicated to all the healthcare workers out there. It's a child playing with like toys, and in the basket you'll see like Batman and Superman. Then he picks up one and it's got the Red Cross on it and the mask, and she's got a cape on and stuff. So it's basically saying like healthcare workers are like the real heroes out there. But he's like donated it to the hospital I just named. So that was dope of him.
That's tight. Nice. Giving back for real. Instead of pretending to be a street artist. No, I'm just kidding.
I think he's far past the street artist stage. And then just randomly popping up like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Randomly with a permit.
And protected, but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, and then last news kind of piece is, museums have been finding really interesting ways to kind of still reach out to, their goers and to the public, and finding ways, either it's like virtual ways or whatever, or 3D tours, what I'm saying, to still kind of visit these museums and go through exhibits.
Yeah.
But one in Amsterdam is doing something especially interesting. The Van Gogh Museum is offering 3D replicas of some of his most famous artworks to the public directly, like on loan.
Yeah, I saw that.
So basically, you enter this contest, 5 winners will be selected, and then like these 3D replicated versions of these works will be delivered to these people's homes for 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there will be more winners as it goes on. But that's wild that they're doing that.
That is wild. That's pretty crazy. That's so weird. But cool. I'm with it.
Yeah. So if you're in Amsterdam, I would definitely enter that.
Yeah.
You can get a nearly indistinguishable replica directly from the Van Gogh Museum of one of his artworks in your house for 2 weeks for free. Dope.
I'd have to shoot a video or something. I had to come up with some content.
That's straight IG flexing. I would be straight IG flexing with that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, before we end things off, we're going to kind of still go into the art, and we've already been talking about art and exhibitions and whatnot. If you guys have been following us, we have just released our new interactive digital exhibition, Black Fathers Matter Series 2, with Dáreece Walker himself, some of his latest works, some stuff that has not been seen by the wider public.
Yeah.
And, we kind of been working on that the last month or so, and we finally dropped it last Thursday.
Yeah, man. Finally released to the public, for those watching. I don't know if you can see, this is an exclusive. Let me see if the light is kind of catching it weird, but we got some things going over here at Living Life Fearless, and it's been really cool. We were thinking about putting on an online exhibition a long time, and we wanted to just, kind of use me as a guinea pig to get it started.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's been pretty successful.
It was more like, I was like, hey, I see you got some new work, huh? Like, hey, bruh, hey, let's talk, dog.
Yeah.
Like, let's just throw some shit out. Let's see what we can do, man.
Yeah. And we were talking about that way before coronavirus, before this COVID-19.
And it just happened to be it just kind of happened to be weirdly good timing,
Yeah.
Everybody's inside, can't go out, can't go to can't put on exhibitions, can't go to exhibitions, so really good time.
Yeah, it was just odd that, like people were kind of prepared for this online exhibition type of style, and well, not our style, but just
presenting art in a new kind of
the notion of a
way.
show online instead of just an article or
a picture.
Yeah, just a picture to slide by. So that's the biggest thing about the show that's cool, is that it's not just a couple images that you just swipe and that's it.
Fully interactive.
So
so I mean, we didn't want to just throw up some pictures of some of the stuff you do and just put it on and just present it for people, because let's be honest, like everything online, that's just not compelling, and it's not like gonna grab anybody in any specific way, not in the same way a live exhibition would do. So we wanted to find a way to kind of bring it to people in a more interactive way, where you can so that people can really engage with the pieces and kind of get that artist insight that you would get from a live show or exhibition, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we really found a way to think that worked really perfectly, just happened to work really perfectly, to integrate with that. And I remember I just was like, you know what, there got it, because I saw some other people doing some stuff, like some online shows and online exhibitions like PCMs and all these other smaller little galleries and whatnot. And I checked out a couple, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but it's just not. It's not grabbing me. It's just just pictures, just more pictures online.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there got to be a better way to do this. There got to be something, and just kind of searching a little bit, and I found a way to kind of, I think, to perfectly do that. Where you can really engage with it and get more insight and more detail, and really explore each piece in depthly while still being online.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's really exciting to just. That's the thing about the digital medium. And just online shows and showing art online, that's hard to do, is to get viewers to slow down, because we're just used to digital media and swiping and looking. Oh, image, that's cool. Next image, oh, cool. So when you see an image, we're already used to just looking at it, getting it, and kind of moving on. But once you go full screen in this show, and you start to pan a little bit, you're like, oh, a little dots pop up, and you're like, well, what's in this dot? And you're like, oh, okay, this is information that I can't get unless I'm looking. And then, you look a little more, and there's more information. So it's time, you actually slow down, with the piece, like you would maybe in a museum, where there's maybe supplemental text, or, museums have the audio that you can get. You can, it's usually extra to have the audio guided headphone tour when you walk around.
Right. And there's even some hidden audio in a couple of pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's been clever enough to find the hidden audio. I mean, it's not crazily hidden, but it is there. And it's actually pretty cool, I think. That was something that I wasn't sure if I would incorporate or how. And I think that was just a great piece to add into it without doing a full, podcast clip inserted, or artist talk video or something like that. It was a nice way to kind of give artist notes, or a little just a little, hey, I'm here. Mm.
Yeah, and I think just having all that stuff kind of makes that connection between like the artist and the goer even like more tangible, because like at these shows, it's not just about the artist, it's also about the artist, you know, and building that kind of connection with them as well as the art. So like it's hard to do that digitally. And I think with this way, you can definitely still, maybe not the same exact way as in person, but still get a good feeling about the artist, like you as an artist, you know what I'm saying? And you as a person behind the artwork. So
yeah, it's been interesting. It's been a really cool, you know, feedback in terms of just I mean, the project alone, like I've been working on this project for like a year in terms of collecting imagery and stuff, and it's just really cool to reflect on the work and put it out and have it available for people to interact with in the way that we're talking about, you know, overseas, you know, cross borders, cross boundaries. So,
yeah, you can view this from anywhere on any device. Like that's what's also really cool. Like it all works. I think even cooler is that you and LF combined, we are donating a portion of the proceeds from this to, you know, artist relief funds, like different ones.
Yeah, that was really important. I really wanted to make sure we like kind of did that, you know, because it's like, you know, the work even in and of itself is sort of like, I don't know, it's about the community and sort of just like embracing, you know, each other a little bit. It's sort of like thinking about the times we're in and trying to, you know, embrace just, you know, love, really. It's just like, you know, love and positivity, and, you know, people need help out there, and, you know, creating something that, you know, people might be interested in and possibly able to purchase and collect, you know, that, you know, mark this show. They also have the opportunity to, you know, get a cool, you know, awesome shirt. Honestly, there's a limited edition. You're not going to get these, you know, I'm not going to sell them after the show. So for anybody listening, the stuff that's in the show will only be available during the show. So however many prints are printed, it will be a limited edition of print of however many those are. Same as the shirts. And that'll be that. But yeah, and even that is even interesting to do with this type of exhibition. There's just so many cool things, you know. I don't want to lose track of what I'm talking about, but it's been fun.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to go like kind of hover around. I don't want to go too far into like your process behind it and like all the inner details of the show, because it's still going and it just launched. And we are planning on doing a full-on like live artist talk with an audience, you know, following up later on in a couple of weeks. So I don't want to like get you to go too deep into your process, but you know, I don't know if you want to kind of talk about why Black Fathers Matter just a little bit, and like why, you know, this.
Yeah.
Like why was this?
Because I mean, yeah. So like the premise, the title, Black Fathers Matter, came from, well, you know, before. I'll give it the elevator pitch so I can shorten it so I don't give away everything for the artist talk. But basically, thinking about my relationship with my father made me think about how just male role models matter as you grow as a young boy, and then just what Black men look like in representation. And, you know, that made me want to take more pictures of Black men and them being role models. And, you know, that led to Black Fathers Matter, and thinking about the words, you know, it's sort of like a chant. And it relates to Black Lives Matter. And, you know, I think it is in a similar vein as, you know, not just saying like, it's like saying, you know, like the way Black men are being portrayed is not necessarily advantageous for the black male. And to say Black Fathers Matters, like saying, hey, don't forget, like, you know, like black men are fathers, black men are important, black fathers are, you know, leaders. They are heads of household. They, you know, are looked up to. They need to be empowered equally, not like demonized or, you know, stereotyped in a way that, you know, makes them look lesser than human, basically. Yeah,
so like you really basically wanted to like present Black fatherhood in a way that isn't necessarily seen very often, especially in like mainstream kind of forms, you know, that we're not all just like deadbeat dads and, you know, absent and, you know, these different, like we're so different, you know, so it's just like, I really resonated with that, you know what I'm saying?
Because, I mean, you know, looking at, you know, just watching shows and stuff, it's like, how often do you see a black dude with his child in a supermarket on TV? Have you ever seen that scene? Like,
I mean, it's so bad, honestly, that people, I don't know if I don't know. I'm about to go somewhere. I don't know. I want to say this for artist talk, because I don't want to go too crazy right now, but I got some shit to like get off. I'm gonna wait on this one, but yeah, it's just a lot, man. Like, I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it. We put a lot of work into this, kind of, especially since it was our first go around with it, with something new, kind of figuring out how we want to do it, how we want to lay out, how we want to, you know, because people don't realize how much you got to actually think about all the little details and something like this, and figuring out how everything's going to piece together, how everything's going to work. And like, it took us probably a good month. Like, we could have did it faster. We took our time, just really building it up and like getting it exactly how we wanted to portray it and how we wanted to present it. And I think we figured that out, you know, especially together. And then I think the timing is also great because Father's Day is right around the corner. And, you know, so definitely been hitting up like, you know, my uncles and my pops about this and everything. And, you know, I mean, I know you saw my pops talked about it. I think he wrote you on Facebook, probably, or something like that. Or he might text you.
I talked to your dad recently.
Yeah, but he was definitely like proud about it, and like, you know, so I'm definitely proud about what we were able to accomplish. And, you know, it just launched, just opened. We're gonna have this running for a few months, so the build up is gonna still be steady, and you're gonna see us posting about it and talking about this a lot more. But like I said, the gist of it is you definitely need to go check it out if you have not checked it out already. I think it's something very unique and special, and I think it's something that you do not see presented in the way that we presented it on the internet, really anywhere. And it's just dope. And again, if you want, you know, if you want to help out, you want to help other artists, I think a great way to do that is if you purchase any of the merchandise from the show, one that he's wearing right now. You get that shirt in that Black Army. We're also selling prints. And you get one of these shirts too. The white tee, the artist shirt. So we are kind of giving, you know, so we're giving a percentage of our proceeds to, like I said, some of these artist funds. So these artist relief funds to help other artists out there who are struggling during this, you know, pandemic. So I think that's another really, really dope and important part of this show. So definitely go check that out. We've been getting a lot of great responses so far from people, and appreciate everybody that has taken time to check it out or to buy some stuff for themselves. That is the print he's pointing out right now. You get one of those for your personal collection. And yeah, like, I think it's just the beginning. I think the response that we've gotten has been so strong and good so far that definitely plan on doing a lot more of these with other artists.
And I'm excited to see what
doing different ways, man.
Do with more artists and how it'll change, you know, because this is the format that, you know, like the format will still be the same, but like, you know, the layout will be different, you know, like
the layout, the presentation is going to be different from person to person, you know, and everyone's going to be unique. So, I mean, but until then, like I said, definitely check out Black Fathers Matter. It's live now. It's showing now. I think it's one of the best shows to view online. out of anything that's out there right now, including all these big exhibitions and museums. Trust me, I've seen them all.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I don't want to toot my own horn, but to be honest, they could step their game up out here.
They could definitely step their game up, but if anybody bites us, I'm definitely taking them, to court for something, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so definitely check that out. There's a lot of stuff that we could have touched on, but we're going to be back, some more stuff, more news, more podcasts. I have some more guests coming up on the show. So stay tuned for that. And, and definitely stay tuned for our artist talk, full-on artist talk. We will be announcing some point in the future very shortly. Have a full-on sit down, go deep dive.
My social at Artist D Walker, at Living Life Fearless, and Dáreece's at I Am D Hunt. So just follow her.
But definitely follow Living Life Fearless, Artist D Walker. Follow those and stay up to date with everything we got going on. But like I said, we've been busy. Put out something crazy. Go check it out. We got more crazy stuff coming. So definitely follow us. Stay tuned. Again, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back shortly. But as always,
you already know. Keep living life fearless. Till next time.
Yes, sir. Peace.